Warehouse.
Hello and welcome to the Hungry Jacks NBL Indigenous round, game 2 of our Friday night doubleheader. We're here in Wollongong, the Illawarra Hawks playing host to the Sydney Kings. Brad Rosen, it's a New South Wales rivalry that's been pretty heated over the years.
They call it the freeway series, but it's not. It's big brother versus little brother. I cannot wait for tonight.
These two teams met back in round 1. Here's how it played out.
The Sydney Kings are going to begin their two-time championship defence. Lost the ball. The Hawks get it back, and it all ends well for Justin Robinson.
And he's amped. Love it.
Good things are happening now for the Hawks. Harvey for 3. Woo-hoo. This time, Noy. It's raining threes in this third quarter. Sydney can't miss. Hunter, what a play. Galloway stole it away. Look out. Noy has been outstanding tonight. And they defeat the Illawarra Hawks in the freeway series in winning fashion.
Well, yes, here we are, Friday night in Wollongong. We saw some pictures there, fond memories for the Sydney Kings. They lead the season series 1-0, but the Hawks are always fired up for this rivalry and will be on form from the get-go tonight. Great to be here courtside. Joe Healy alongside former Kings captain Brad Rosen. Brad, I'm looking forward to this one.
This will be a beauty, and it always is when these two play each other. You don't even have to worry where they are on the ladder, and there it is, the Mitsubishi Motors ladder. Forget it. Doesn't matter where it is. These two teams love playing each other, and there's nothing else better than beating each other.
Well, let's talk about this rivalry. The Kings, they've had the upper hand in recent years, but they come into this one off the back of 2 straight losses. What do you want to see from them in order to get back on track?
Yeah, they've got to get back on track, exactly what you're saying. They started the season really well, and I love what Jalen Galloway was giving them. Well, he's out now, and DJ Hogue has come back in. They've got to find that niche, and I expected them to have some hits, and that's what they took the last few weeks.
We mentioned DJ Hogue, injured to begin the season. This is his second game back. How important is it for him to keep finding his form?
Well, it is. He got 14 shots up last week, but he got 13 points. He looked rusty, and he looked like someone who just had to touch the ball. It is difficult for an import that's come off another team in a first NBL to now come out and have to perform. So I'm expecting him to be better for the run, but still a lot of pressure on him.
Ask any player in this league and they will tell you that there's something about the rims here in Wollongong. Shooters love to shoot in this arena. That man on the screen there shot 44% from deep last time he was here. What have you liked about his performances?
He's been doing it for a number of seasons, and I love it. He was just outstanding. He got going here at Illawarra. He spotted up a couple of times, and then the thing was a hula hoop, Joe. It didn't matter where he was shooting from. He got 6 threes, and the thing that he was able to do, because they played small ball, was stretch it. And when they can stretch the ball, he's open. I'm expecting to see that again tonight.
Well, that is the tale of the tape for the Sydney Kings. Let's bring in your commentators now, Matty Russell and Leonard Copeland. Gents, how are things looking for the Hawks?
G'day, Joe. Welcome back to Wollongong. And you too, Leonard Copeland, one of the league's great offensive players. Obviously, the Hawks, Jacob Jacomas at 2 and 5. It means every home game is important. As a man who lit this league up over 17 seasons, through your keen eye, you saw some positive signs offensively for the Hawks.
Absolutely. Last week they played against Melbourne United. In that first half, they really looked good. They shared the ball. There was no mistakes. They played together. They looked like they were having fun, and they were in the game. And it just so happens right at the end of the game, they sort of started turning the ball over, and that's when they lost.
It is game 100 for their sharpshooter, Tyler Harvey. Last home game, it was his buzzer-beating game winner that gave the Hawks victory. Leonard, when it comes to sharpshooters across the league, there are many of them. Where do you rank Tyler Harvey?
Oh, he's right up there with the Chris Goldings and the Ian Clarks and the Chris Smiths. He can shoot the ball, and you just can't leave him by himself because he will knock it down.
Here are some of his highlights. In fact, that was the winner against the Taipans right on the buzzer, 84-83. What about his partner in crime, though, Justin Robinson? A slow start to the season off that injury last year. Copes 20 points, 9 assists last game. How does he deal with Jalen Adams tonight, though?
You know how he deals with him? He plays his game like he's been doing the last couple of weeks. Last week he was fantastic with the 20 points. He shared the ball. He got guys involved. He ran the team like a leader, and that's what he needs to do tonight.
Out of the NBA and down under, their import, Gary Clark. He came here to try and rediscover his love of basketball, his mojo, off a season-high 24 points. Is he starting to do that?
He is. 24 points. Again, like I said before, in that first half, I think he was 5 for 5 or 6 for 6 He looked really good. He needs to hit the boards a little bit. I'd love to see him and Frawling play a little bit more together and share the ball with each other.
Brad Rosen, these two lineups have only used 6 starters all season. When you look at the Hawkeys starting 5, what jumps out at you?
Well, I do love him. I love what Copes has been saying. I've just been enjoyed watching Gary Clark. It's one of those things that he just plays constant. And Copes, it's not going to be a 30-point game and then a 2-point game. He's just going to be constant. And to me, they need to go at him tonight to get him going early.
Sydney's starting 5 does have an obvious change, Copes.
They have. They put DJ Hogue in the starting lineup, and last week he got in 14 points. A little bit rusty, but if you're going to get going, this is the place to get going. Everyone loves to come here and shoot the ball.
Indigenous round continues in the NBL. Earlier tonight, New Zealand by 10 over the Taipans. What happens as the Freeway Series continues? The second meeting between the Kings and the Hawks in Hungry Jack's NBL 23-24. There's DJ Hogue, 1 game back from that shoulder injury, straight back into the starting lineup. The Kings are on this 7-game winning streak against the Hawks. In game 1 for these clubs this season, it was 96-81 to the visitors here. The Sydney Kings, the back-to-back champions. Last thoughts, Leonard and Brad.
Look, I think this is just going to be a fantastic game. I'm expecting Illawarra to come out hard, Copes. They need to. I know you said last week when they played Melbourne, they were great for 3 quarters. Now it's just got to be 40 minutes.
Absolutely. I'm a little bit selfish. I want to see a tight game. I want it to go down to the wire. I want to see someone make a shot at the buzzer to win it.
It's been the tightest NBL competition in history. And the Freeway Series, game 2, tip-off, the rivalry continues. Froling's win is collected by Wani Swaka Labullet, and let's see what sort of start the Hawks make tonight. First quarters, not their strength over the last 1 and a bit seasons, and they open with a miss by the hand of Tyler Harvey.
You notice straight away the Sydney Kings like to switch everything, Brad. And when you switch and you got Frawling on that box, get him the ball down low and let him go to work.
Absolutely.
Denzel Valentine went for long and missed. It's possession arrow, which stays with the Sydney Kings.
Copes, this is where they have to be careful. Kings are outstanding on the offensive rebound. It's part of their culture. It's what they talk about. First chance they get, they crash the glass and get it. Illawarra have to box out.
And there's Geordie Hunter elevating for first points. Nice start from the Sydney big man. It's back to that rebounding challenge for the Hawks, Brad Rosen. They were out-rebounded by Melbourne last start, 45-18. Talk about being smashed on the glass as Clark goes to work on Valentine and deposits.
And that's what he did in Melbourne. They slowed the pace down, ran the play, got him involved early. And that's going to be key for them to get that win.
Hunter and Frawling banging bodies. It's an and one play for the Sydney Kings.
Matty, I said, and you look at the replay here, and what a great out-of-bounds play. Just love that. But, Matty, I said to Copes before, do you like shooting here? And he said to me, I don't actually remember missing.
It was the first thing he said to me. I love playing here, he said.
This is a great gym to shoot in.
He then put his head back and goes, yeah, no, I still don't remember missing.
And we love having you here in commentary now. It's as if you played for the Hawks. There were standing ovations from fans.
Here we go.
Leonard Copeland entered the building.
It's fantastic to see a great crowd here, though, I tell you what.
Yeah, it's up the back, isn't it? It's great.
Rotation there from the Hawks. Swaka Labullock finds Clark. And Harvey's denied again. Alex Tui waving the hand in front of the face. Nice work by the next star.
He might be a next star, but he doesn't play like a next star. He plays like a grown man. Great shot. And there you go.
DJ Hogue, long playing like a grown man. All NBL selection last season. Off the back of that 18-point, 5.5 rebound, 3 assist year. The averages were spot on. And he makes the move significantly south to Sydney. As Valentine pulls up, goes back to the hot hand of Hogue. This time it cools a little. And the rebound is taken by Swaka Labullock. Hogue commits the foul.
Those mistakes that that Illawarra are making early, they can't afford to do that. I mean, Sydney, well, mistake there, Sydney's running out trying to score straight away.
Well, it's been 3 possessions where Clark's got the ball to the block and 2 of them he's passed, but the other one he scored. Whilst I don't mind him passing right now, I'd like to see him go in.
Absolutely.
Get those scores early.
In game 1, the Hawks shot just above 38% in that loss to Sydney. Down 8-2 early as Tyler Harvey goes from range unsuccessfully. And a kind bounce for Justin Robinson. The home team reloads. Robinson, the hook off the mark. Froling gets the rebound. Little fade away from Sam Froling. He leaves the shot short and they're not dropping. They're 1 of 6, the Hawks, to start this game. The finger roll from Tui is off the mark. Jalen Adams. It's picked up by Clark, much to the relief of the Illawarra crowd. Swaka LeBullet. That's what the Hawks needed.
Great drive by Swaka LeBullet. But here again, you got to get back on defense, then celebrate the layup.
Denzel Valentine from a long way outside.
Look, teams are missing the shots, but I like the ones they're taking. It's okay. They're getting good looks, crashing the glass, getting a nice deep catch here, and that's just always money. And great
that's
move
what I've been
by
asking
Sam.
for right there. Get him the ball inside and watch him go to work.
The Hawks coming into this game off a 12-point loss in Melbourne. You called that game, Leonard. They were beaten 96-84 despite 24 points from Gary Clark. Rolling at the line here. Justin Robinson with the 9 assists. Apart from being smashed on the boards and horrendously beaten on the foul count, there were some good signs, but Sam Froling, that's one area he's looking to improve his game. The free throw shooting.
Well, I like the Illawarra sub. Lee is a flat-out shooter, and they love him here in Illawarra. If they can go early to get him some looks, he will knock them down.
Offensive foul called on the Kings. Jordan Hunter, the man pinged. The referees tonight, Mitch Hare, James Boyer, James Grugul. And the back-to-back champions, Copes, are off back-to-back losses, beaten by Tasmania and Cairns. So the pressure just rising a little on Mahmoud Abdul Fattah and his Sydney Kings.
And speaking of shooters, you bring in Kwat Noy, who loves this gym as well. I think he had 6 threes in the first game here and just been shooting the lights out.
Career high best 6 made threes as Gary Clark shows us his shot from range. Jalen Adams gets to the backboard. They've been exploring from deep early at 1 of 5 3-pointers very early on by Sydney. Hung Jung Lee thinks he can be the best shooter in the league as Clark sets his sights again. The rebound for Froling and the putback is good.
And that's what I like about Lee. He's working hard. He came off the baseline there, didn't get a shot, but he's crashing the offensive glass and giving them second looks. But geez, they've got their hands full. Jalen Adams is really feeling it. He was outstanding here the first time they played them, Copes, and they really have to look to slow him down.
He's a superstar. He's an ex-MVP, and he knows how to run a team. He knows when they get down, he takes over.
Now, when we played here last time, these two teams, this is where the Kings were able to exploit some things where they've got now 5 flat-out shooters on the court. Right? Everyone, like Jonah Bolden's now playing in that 5 spot where he can easily step out, and this is where the Kings struggle a little bit. He's brought Lockie Olbrich into the game. He needs to make sure he closes out, otherwise they're going to get some wide-open looks here.
And I like Lockie's game, but he just needs to stay out of foul trouble. I know he's young, but he can flat-out play if he stays on the floor.
Interesting minutes midway through this first quarter. The hand of Clark knocks the ball out of play. It's the Hawks by 1 after trailing 8-2 early. Nice fight back from the home team.
Well, this is a great sub as well. AJ Johnson, I like this. Just get the young kid. Copes, we were talking about him before. He is just a super athlete, can run the floor, Anytime he's stepped on the court this year, whilst it hasn't been a lot, he's showing stuff.
Absolutely.
He's showing that he's at this level. So looking forward to watching him play now.
He's been a momentum changer, hasn't he, Brad? But low single-minute minutes for his last 4 games. The next star, Sean Bruce, fresh on, but not onto the scorer's sheet. And AJ Johnson takes the rebound to Olbrich. The young guns trying to combine. They get the rebound, go to Robinson, and no reward for the Hawks. Bolden in the corner was unsuccessful. Look at him go again. It's like a sprint every time he gets the ball. Young Johnson.
He's pushing that ball down the court.
Yeah, he looks great.
The 18-year-old out of Fresno, California.
He looks 8, not 18. He's the baby-faced assassin, I call him.
Justin Robinson harangued by the defense. Tough start for J-Rob, none of 3. He gets it back and still can't get it to go. Trouble here for the Hawks, 2-on-1, and Bruce lays it in.
And those are the mistakes that Illawarra can't afford to have.
Yep.
Yes, you get the ball back, you steal the ball, but slow it down, get a good play, and get it back, get a great shot.
AJ Johnson travels.
Well, I think they've called the foul here first, Matty. There's no question that it was a travel, but I think they're saying, I think it was a hit first. But nope, they're going to stick with the travel. And the crowd doesn't like it.
He definitely got hit.
Oh, yeah.
Knocked him off track.
Here we go.
He'll get no favours, will he? And that's why he's come to Australia partly, to play grown men.
Absolutely. He'll be better for it.
Jonah Bolden. Here's Quatnoy, the fake, beats Clark, gets a little closer, and then draws the foul.
Well, that's not a mistake when you've got a guy that hit 6 threes in the first game. They are running at him and running at him quick. And that's great from Quatnoy to up fake, knowing this is the time and the situation where I can get to it.
AJ Johnson picks up his first foul.
Yeah, Quat walks in this stadium feeling very confident.
Yeah.
Some stadiums where you know you play well.
Mate, you
come
walked
with your
in
head
here
up.
feeling confident. You're not even playing.
Hey. Nothing like having this place full, people yelling at you, and you knocking down a couple
Good
of
times,
threes.
isn't it? It's a fantastic arena to play in.
It's low scoring, it's tight early in Wollongong. The Hawkies would love to lead at quarter time for obvious reasons, but one stat is a good reason for them to lead at quarter time. They've lost their last 20 when trailing at the first break.
That's a big number. That's a big number. I'm doing whatever I can to get this first quarter. Forget the game, Brad. I want to win the first quarter.
Put a 6th player on.
Hung Jung Lee out there, hugely popular in Korea. And great to see the Korean Council General in Wollongong to cheer on Hung Jung Lee. Not his first time down under the setup in Canberra.
He's bigger than I thought, too. He's got some size on him, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Harvey finds Dan Greeder, who's had his moments early in the season, but up and down.
And I have noticed this throughout the year. You look at who's on for Illawarra. They got Harvey, who was actually playing the point there, and then you got Greeder and AJ, not pure point guards, and then you see something there that just is not as crisp.
That's exactly right, Brad. That's what I was saying about Harvey. He's a great player, but he's okay, Mr. Bolden.
He elevated with authority and slammed it down. Jonah Bolden. The highlight play of the first quarter so far. Hung Jung Lee, guarded by Jalen Adams, but the Korean comes away with 2 points.
And it's a tough shot. I mean, yes, he made it. You don't have that true point guard on the floor trying to facilitate and get guys good shots. It's just swing.
Greeder after the Sydney turnover. He plays it cool and locks it up.
And, Coach, you're exactly right about the point guard, but that's what Greeder gives them. Look at the energy in this team right now. They will call a foul, but if I'm a coach, I'm okay with that. I love the energy they're bringing. You look at Jonah Bolden here. Goes upstairs and says hello to Wollongong.
Reminds you of anybody there, Brad?
My good mate, Bruce Bolden.
There we go.
Papa Bolden would be happy with that one. He's in the venue.
Don't you have to call him Big Bad Bruce?
Buffy Bolden. God bless him.
The 1992 Grand Final MVP.
Every
17 seasons, like another man on the panel here.
Long time. Back in the day, Brad. The old day. We played a long time back in our day.
Career high 51 for Bruce.
Oh.
Got him covered there, Leonard.
I
Close,
played with a guy
close.
named I played with a guy named Andrew Gage. Wouldn't let me get that. Wouldn't let me get that record.
Here's Tyler Harvey. Scores level. Last 2.5 minutes of the first quarter. Harvey loses the handle. And Glover nearly does likewise. 100 games for Angus last weekend. Belated congratulations to he and his family who have supported him magnificently during a long and testing road as he goes baseline for Bruce. Nice from the Sydney Kings.
And the ball movement's just amazing. The way they pass that ball around, make you go from side to side. And again, the Hawks don't have a true point guard on the floor, so everything's a tough shot.
Too tough for Hung Jung Lee. Catches only the iron. Now Johnson trying to get in front of Adams, who kicks it out. Noy goes over the top of the hole. And possession will stay with the visitors. The Hawks last in the league for points conceded. A tick above 98. Their defensive efficiency not crash hot either. Are you seeing improved defensive signs, not just tonight, but over the last couple of games for the Illawarra Hawks?
Yeah, I am. I mean, last week, like I said, when they played Melbourne, they played together. They switched the ball, they switched defensive assignments, and they looked like a team.
They forced the stop there, Leonard, and Froling finds Harvey, who likes the look. He thought he was fouled in the act of shooting a three. Glover comes away cleanly. No whistle. Adams pulls up. And that's off Sean Bruce.
We're sitting here bragging about how nice it is to shoot in this gym. And the Kings are 1 for 11 from the three-point line.
And they won't stop. Look at them last week. I think, were they 0 of 16 or something, and then they got one just before half-time.
Joe Healy, how are you seeing it?
Absolutely loving this, guys. Amazing crowd in the house. Plenty of energy. A few familiar faces as well. I've spotted one Hawks' favourite son in Tim Conrad sitting courtside. It looks like he might be double parked. I might have to have a word with him after this.
He's a truly great Hawk, Tim Conrad. Long career, more comebacks.
Could he shoot a three? Oh, boy.
Absolutely.
More comebacks than Paul McCartney, who's touring Australia at the moment, Timmy Conrad. But the Hawks gleefully received him each time. Now he can sit back and happily be double parked on the drinks and enjoy watching his Hawkies as Froling. The finger roll lets him down.
Those are the ones you have to make.
Watch Malawatch out there for Mahmoud Abdul Fattah. Noy. Here's Malawatch, bottom of the nets.
And there's where Illawarra's breakdown is. As soon as they turn their back, they've got to make sure they know where the defensive is. Then you're just chasing. And the Kings are outstanding. Oh, nearly a steal there. The Kings are outstanding when they pass the ball. They know if they've got the shot, they take it. If not, let it fly.
Absolutely.
35 seconds left in the first quarter. The Kings by 5. Both teams shooting poorly.
You know what, I don't disagree, but if I'm both coaches, I'm going into the timeout, into the quarter time thinking, we're okay. We're in a good position. Good finish by J-Rob there. Only down by 1 with 28 seconds to go. And I'm thinking to myself, we are in a nice set right here where we want to be.
You can understand the desire to get to the rack. Combined, these teams are 3 from 18 from outside. As Leonard shakes his head. Wouldn't have happened in my day, he thinks.
Sorry, I did say down by 1. It's down by 3 after that break.
Glover looking for Tui, cutting baseline. So 7 seconds left here for the Hawks. Can they lock it up at quarter time? It's a one-shot game. If they do land a three, they'll invite the crowd to lift the roof instead. Tough shot from Justin Robinson. Really tough. On the move, in the air, fading away. He misses the mark. And after the first quarter, it's the Kings in front. Sydney 20, lead Illawarra 17. How good to have Mitsubishi Motors driving the NBL again this season. Hawks and Kings fans are celebrating in stadium tonight with the Mitsubishi Motors three-pointer foam hands. And a range of prizes up for grabs every week, including a brand new Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. There they are, either on the court or in the stands, the foam hands waving thanks to Mitsubishi Motors. Get involved, maybe you can be driving away in a brand new Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. Underway in the second with the Kings up by 3. Both teams shooting from the field at 36%. Both teams diabolical from outside the arc. As Swakala Bullock goes to Robinson, who adds to that record. Another miss.
They're not shy with the threes, are they?
Blanchfield, we know he's a noted
Sorry, you were saying,
shooter.
Wow.
So just to draw a line under it, the Hawks are 1 of 9, the Kings 2 of 12 from outside. But still they pull the trigger and still they miss. Off Froling, off Clark. It's Sydney's ball.
There does come a time when you've got to say, right, we've got to get a set. You know, like enough. Let's get the ball.
Get it inside, have a look.
The one time that I can remember that they really went inside as a nice move there, they got Clark a very easy score. It was their first score of the game, Copes.
And they haven't gone back to it.
Swakala Bullock had his shot dropped out, but not second time around. Joe Healy, what was Jacob Jacoma saying at quarter time?
Well, as Brad said towards the end of the first, the Hawks are relatively happy offensively. Not everything is dropping, but they're getting some good looks. Jacob Jacomas, though, not happy with what they're doing at the defensive end. He said they're not sprinting back in D, they're getting beaten on penetration, and he's really pushing for them to tidy things up at that end.
25-year-old Makwatch Malawatch breaks the drought. A three-pointer for the Sydney-born King. The crowd invited to make some noise.
Look at this block. Well, he makes the three first. What a spark he's given him off the bench. Hits the three, and then Sam Froling goes up and he says, "No, you don't. Not in this house."
Tough night for Sam Froling. Instead, he goes to the line to shoot two. Adams exploring, but ridden by Swaka Bullock. Geordie Hunter likewise by Sam Froling, and they get a result, the Hawks.
And this is what they need. They need to get the crowd involved, make a couple of shots, get the ball inside on the offensive end, get a couple of stops on the defensive end, and get this crowd going, because they want to get going. They're hungry.
There's some Kings fans here as well, cheering that play a moment ago. Blanchfield kicks it out for Swaka Bullock, who improves the look, uses the glass, and comes away with two more. Wani. Up to 6 points for the game only. Sam Froling has more for the Hawks. Illawarra with 8, leading the game scoring. BJ Hogue inaccurate. And the rebound for Blanchfield, then Hogue commits his second foul.
We spoke about Hogue earlier. Yes, we know he can play. Yes, we know he's a superstar. But he's playing in a different system now. I mean, he played for Cairns, and he was a go-to guy. Now he's got different players giving him the ball, different players around him.
Coach, I want to ask you, someone like that that's come off their first year, outstanding, absolutely no question. Everyone talks about second year, right? You as an import came out, absolutely went to work. What was that second year like for you as a beautiful move there by Jay Rock? What was it like for you?
Well, you look, that second year, everyone knows your moves. They know what you can do. I dropped from 28 to 22, I think I did.
Absolutely you did.
And not because I wasn't trying. Let me tell you, it wasn't because I didn't shoot it. It was just because teams get to know what you're doing now.
You did average more than 20 points for your first 11 seasons.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that second year, they say it happens.
What happened in 02-03? Was Andrew hogging the ball or something?
Every year, mate. Every year. You know that.
Valentine for Jalen Adams. The Kings by 1. And the hot hand for the Kings does it again. 11 points.
And see, you got to have someone on that team right now say, we have to know where he is. He's knocked down 2 or 3 shots. I don't care what defense we're in. I got to know where he is, because if you leave him open, he's guaranteed.
2 or 3 recently, 4 for the game, including a perfect 3 of 3.
Well, not only the 11 points, and there's that 3 that he hits in the corner, he just got the stop down the other end. He's had a block. He is playing tremendous minutes for the Sydney Kings.
Season with United, his first year as a King. Muckwatch Mullawatch.
Got a little juice here with Swaka and Adams. A little rivalry here. That's what we want to see.
There's never a shortage of that when Sydney and Illawarra go head-to-head.
Big brother versus little brother.
Oh, absolutely. What Wani's got to do is stay with it. Stay with it. That's what we want you now. If I'm Illawarra, we want you to put him off his game.
That's right.
Denzel Valentine with Justin Robinson in a mismatch, and it's easy for the Sydney Kings. If the Kings are big brother, they're dominating little brother. 64-49 head-to-head. That's the record, 64-49. But the Hawks are here to try and eat into that.
That's an NBA move there. In and out.
That was beautiful. Look at
That's
that.
the basket.
Takes the hit. Beautiful. Nice finish. That is great. Coach, he's 7 points. He just hasn't had enough shots. That's 3 or 4 from the field. He just needs more.
And you spoke about it earlier when they threw that ball down. Yes, the first shot he went to the basket and scored. The next 2 he passed it out. Now, if I'm coach, I'm trying to get him involved on that box. Let him go to work and play inside out.
Yep.
Here's another NBA talent, Denzel Valentine. Bruce, the Sydney captain, in his 5th year, part of those back-to-back championships, quite obviously. And a tip there from Gary Clark. You mentioned that NBA move we saw from him a moment ago, 177 games. April 22, so April last year, he had an NBA high for him, 17 points against the Golden State Wanderers. So
he can play. He can flat out play.
we continue to celebrate Indigenous round as we take a snooze timeout. There's the Illawarra Hawks singlet for this oh-so-special round. Designed by Auntie Trish Levitt, with a hawk prominent representing the team, surrounded by earth, dots representing elders and much, much more. You know, Brisbane years ago led the charge towards an Indigenous round. Illawarra's very own Tyson Dean was playing an important role there as well. And great to see the league as a whole, clubs as a whole, having special singlets.
It's a great round. It's a great round. I saw Tyson before, and just to talk to him about it in the house, and it's just so exciting. And I think all teams, they've embraced it. That's what I love.
And every year we see these jerseys, I said this before, we go, wow, how amazing do they look. But every year they get better.
Yeah.
I don't know how they can continue to get better. I mean, I'd wear them anywhere. I love them.
And the Hawks have a special basketball with Indigenous painting on it to give to their player of the game. A nice touch. Wow. So the Hawks player of the game tonight gets that ball. But they're down by 3 points.
All right, here we go. White.
I don't know if I like that sub, taking Robinson out, who's...
Malawatch, tough, athletic, isn't he?
And we spoke about having a true point guard on the floor.
Great out-of-bounds play.
Now Gary Clark elevates again, but Bolden got there illegally, say the referees.
I was looking for some highlights there. I thought he was going up.
Just going back on the Sydney Kings, that out-of-bounds play that they were able to do, Copes, that was a good timeout by the coach. Just settle them, because a lot of passing was going around the three-point line and not much more, and they'd launch it. Great out-of-bounds play, goes to his man at the moment. Malawatch, who's got 13 points on 5 of 5 shooting, but then they go down the other end, and Gary Clark, he's trying to take this now. Let's hope he gets over that hump. No passing, Gary, just go. Right now, you're looking great.
When he had that 17 against the Warriors, he included 4 made threes. It is part of his repertoire. They haven't been falling for him so far this season heavily, Gary Clark, but it is there as his game continues to develop in the NBL. Here's Bruce. It's good for Sean.
And you were right, Brad. They're going to keep launching until something goes to...
Yeah.
37-29, an 8-point buffer, and Jacob Jackomas has seen enough for the time being.
Well, you just look at that replay there and you saw 3 people in the bottom right. It's not a double. It's should I double or shouldn't I? To me, it's like go aggressive or don't go at all.
That's right.
And now what happens is you've got 3 players, and in that instance, Dan Greeder lost his man. Sean Bruce relocates, bang, knocks the 3.
Tyler Harvey yet to score tonight, and earlier, Brad, you caught up with him about this rivalry and his shooting.
Now, you've been here a number of seasons. There is a lot of games that go hard against each other. Is there any bigger than Sydney versus Illawarra?
Oh, I think you feel the tension every time you play them. You know, they're a great team, great organization. They win. So every time we play these guys, of course, it's going to be a battle.
Scores are tied, 5 seconds to go. Tyler Harvey's got the ball. You're going to shoot it. It's you. How you feeling?
Man, I don't ever plan those things, honestly. I just play in the moment, and whatever happens, happens.
Just the 4 shots from Tyler so far tonight, yet to get on the board.
I did say to him afterwards, you will shoot away. He said, hell yeah, you know I'm going to shoot that.
When he hit that winner against Cairns, I interviewed him afterwards, and I said, I thought the shot was short through the air the whole way. And he said, I think every one of my shots is going in.
That's a shooter's mentality right there. That's how you got to think.
Here he is, ball in hand. A long way to go in this one. 5 minutes left in the first half.
Now get Clark on the box. There's no bigs out there. Let him go to work.
Does he hear you, Leonard? Does he hear you? A spin move on Malawatch with the end one.
Great.
Make your way up to the Hawks coaching panel, Leonard Copeland.
I'm telling you,
Great
super
call,
game break.
Copes. Absolutely. Great call. We're seeing it. We're watching it. Look at this. No one goes in doubles. Just go to work. Great call, Leonard Copeland.
As Gary Clark goes to the line here, Joe, what are you seeing in the Kings?
Well, the Hawks there obviously trying to halt the momentum of the Kings, and it worked in their favour. But listening into the timeout, the Kings all fairly relaxed. Coach Mood just saying great execution offensively. Defensively is where their focus is, though. It's about locking down and getting stops.
And that's a great call from Joe, because that will disappoint them that a man was able to dribble 4 or 5 times and the guy that's feeling it for them, and he was just left on his own.
So Clark into double figures, 4 or 5 shooting, had 4 rebounds to that as well. Productive early as Sean Bruce gets away. It opens up, and then Dan Greeder cleans up for the Hawks. AJ Johnson invites some noise in Wynn Entertainment Centre.
Doesn't he have some speed, though? He gets out and on the block and runs.
Like a bullet. What noise. He dropped 6 made threes here in game 1, September 30. Tyler Harvey, it rattles out. He gave it a good look. He would have locked it up.
I think we all wanted that one to go in.
He's 0 of 5 with 3 of them from outside. Zell Valentine. It's off the foot of Clark.
Well, you
So the
have
Harvey Norman replay. Have a look at this, Brad Rosen.
Look at this. Dan Greeder goes up, gives it, and then they go to the next star. Look at the block. Get out of here. The next star. He 2 dribbles, 1, 2, and then finishes beautifully on the break.
Nice move.
Dan Greeder, after that injury-ravaged pass, was able to get through a full pre-season and start the competition in the shape he wanted to be. He'll be enjoying his court time as he looks to elevate his game. Alex Tui, double teams. And the tip in, the putback from Geordie Hunter.
That's just size and strength.
Hunter shooting at a big man clip, 65% from the field. Leading all qualified players in that regard across the league.
You know what I've noticed in today's game, and what we didn't have a lot of back in our game, is substitutions. Both teams, like subs every minute, on the minute, somebody's coming to the table. Imagine playing with Daisy, telling him to come out the game.
You guys made 3 subs a season.
That's right.
Valentine, Hunter from outside. Albrecht gets the rebounds. Greeder, as the Hawks show some speed here, maybe a bit too much.
We've got a great angle here. There is no question that's an Illawarra ball. We saw that right there. I think it was Tui, but it was definitely off a hand of a Sydney King. Good call.
We know he touches it here. We know he touches it here. We're just checking if he touches it in the corner.
Oh, there you go. Good call.
Here you go.
Being smashed on the boards against Melbourne. It's 21-17 in this game in favour of Sydney. Tyler Harvey, there are his first points. A beautiful left-hand finish.
Strong move. And that's what, hopefully this will get him going.
Now he's called for the foul.
Well, Copes, I'm with you, and Gary Clark's come off now, so there's 11 points. They need this man and Justin Robinson to start to go to work.
Yes.
Okay, they haven't had many shots, but right now they need that man to get going to be able to make sure they're right in this game, if not up at halftime.
But smart shots, though.
Yes, yes.
No Hawk has more than 1 foul. Is Watnoy. And the and 1. It counts. Hung Jung Lee called for the foul now.
Keep down low. 1 shot.
Just too big.
So he goes to 2. I cursed him by saying no Hawk had more than one. Lee picks up his second. For Sydney, it's Hogue, it's Malawatch, and it's Bolden with 2 each.
Copes, that's something that is coming into his game that I didn't see a lot a few seasons ago. He always could shoot it. When he was in Cairns, there's no question. That was bully ball down low.
Absolutely.
He just banged and put that in.
And smart.
Yeah.
You know, when you got a smaller guy on you, slow that thing up and yell for the ball. Like falling now.
Harvey leaves it short this time. That looked a gimme.
He's missed a couple of those.
It's not Tyler's night so far. And as a result, Illawarra staring at a 6-point deficit. 2.5 left before the break. Swaka Labullock finds Froling. Down low, Tui. And there's Hunter getting in the way. The Hawks find a way.
I don't like that play.
Yep.
You got Froling posting up, and Harvey brings his man in there to cause confusion.
It's the Harvey Norman replay.
He's going, and now there's help on the box. Luckily, he got the rebound and put it back
That's
up.
great recognition, because a lot of players would just turn around there looking for the offensive rebound. Great recognition by Sam Froling. But at the moment, Illawarra just have to sit down and guard their man. The penetration is actually causing a problem for them. Jalen Adams now, what he did in that first game, he's able to get in there. The hands are starting to cause that trouble now for the Illawarra Hawks. They just have to sit down, guard their man, and make them take tough shots.
Whenever you are off a 3-win season, like the Hawks are, every game in the new season is important.
Yep.
When you slip to 2 and 5, that goes up a few levels. When you're at home, you can go up again. When you're playing your arch rivals, keep going. So it's a really big outing here for the Hawks, especially when you consider that because of the FIBA break, many teams have a lighter November schedule, especially the Hawks, only 3 games this month.
Yeah.
They're going to do a lot of training, and they'd much rather do that off the back of wins that take them up the ladder than losses at home, having already conceded a start to the rest of the league. And that's better from Wani Swaka-Labullock.
He's been good tonight.
Yeah. Gets his feet in the paint, rises and puts it down.
Up to 8 points. The follow-up from Tui.
I like that no call.
I don't think it was square.
No,
Yeah.
he was, and if anything, it's a block from what I saw. I just felt he was hoping to get that offensive foul, which you shouldn't be rewarded for. So I like the no call.
Yep.
I'm not saying you're in.
Here it is again, Brad. Harvey Norman replay. White Noi.
That's not a foul.
No. If anything, it's a blocking foul on
Yep.
that one.
The Hawkeyes fans wanted the offensive foul. The referees kept their cool. Right call, according to the learned experts.
I think the mix of what the referees have done this year, I think they're doing a fabulous job. I really do. I think they're not allowing that.
Oh, look at that from Geordie Hunter. Justin Robinson. I don't know whether the shot was on target, but regardless, Hunter said, get it away. And now he does it at the other end.
And these are the mistakes that they can't afford to make, especially right before halftime. Be smart, come down, get a play. Everyone's going one-on-one.
Labullock. Just a steadying bucket for the Hawks. They were in danger of going down by 10 in the shadows of half-time. Star of the first half, Malawatch, 13 points. Here's Jalen Adams, the league MVP from seasons past. It opens up easily.
These M1s aren't good for Illawarra, are they?
It's causing a lot of problems.
And it's a foul. Can't reach in.
Hawks pick up their 11th foul. Sydney 9, nowhere near the whistle we heard last night in Brisbane. So Hung Jung Lee comes in for Justin Robinson.
One only.
Robinson picks up his third. That's why he's been put on ice. A minute left in the first half. Just the one assist for Robinson after his 9 last start. Swaka Bullock loses it, but cleans up under pressure now from Quatnoy. He was under shot clock pressure as well. And the offense breaks down for Illawarra.
And this is what happens when you don't have a lead guard out there running the show. Now, I know he's in foul trouble.
No, you're 100% right.
But you got to get somebody out there to run a play.
That whole possession, the ball did not go inside the three-point line except for those last 2 dribbles. And not only that, it's 2 steps outside the three-point line. The easiest place to guard Cokes. And that's just lack of communication, lack of awareness.
So a snooze timeout called by Jacob Jackomas. Justin Robinson not out there. Tyler Harvey not out there. We've got, 30 seconds left in the first half. The Hawks down by 10, so it's a crucial 30 seconds. They want to get it back to single figures rather than well beyond the double figures it is now.
Absolutely, and they can't afford to make these small mistakes that they're making because the Kings are good enough. When you make those mistakes, they're going to score on the other end.
Well, it's all right now. It's 28 seconds, so they're going to get the ball back. So it's all about A, don't foul, because they've been fouling a lot and sending to the free throw line. B, get the stop, then go down and get a good set. Now, to me, Gary Clark's back on. Go and get him the ball in the block. You'll get enough time. You should get enough time. Now, if not, run and get that shot going.
What can they do also in this 30 seconds to try and invite this Wollongong crowd into the contest? Give them some hope at half-time and invite them to make some noise on the resumption. It's Sydney's possession. Jalen Adams works the clock. DJ Hogue, his pass over the head of Valentine. So 7.5 seconds left for the home team. What's your target here, Leonard?
Well, you bring some shooters on.
And they're doing that, Lee and Harvey.
Got 7 seconds. Throw that thing inside. You got shooters on the outside. If they come double, kick it out and let it fly. But at least have a look on the inside. Give Gary Clark a look. He's 4 for 5 or 5 for 6.
Now, on the switch, Copes, I would say Sydney Kings, I'd press. You know J. Rob's not going to get on the court. He's got 3 fouls, so there's no way he's a... Throw it out there.
Yep.
What's the worst that can happen? You go in by 8, you go in by 7. Try and get that turnover and get a layup. Throw it press, throw a double team. Do something different because they're not ready for that.
You're absolutely right.
The Hawks are 1 of 11 from downtown in this game, so if it does open up, do they still take the triple attempt or do they just try and get to the rack for the high percentage play?
I want a good shot.
Yeah.
Look, if it goes, it goes. You want to get a good set. You got 7.5 seconds. Swing that ball around. If you can get it inside, get it inside. If not, make sure you get a good shot.
Yeah, look, for me, I agree. Just get the ball off. Some type of screen early, so then you're in the open court and coming downhill. And I'd like to see Blanchfield come off a screen and knock it down. This is the type of time. No pressure, 7.5 seconds. Just let it go.
Yeah. Blanchfield, just the 2 shots so far, yet to score. There are a few cool hands across the Hawks lineup. I want to have the cool heads, but the hot hands.
I predict a long shot from Harvey if he gets it.
Gary Clark, plenty of time in this possession. Clark puts it on the floor, and it put back a couple of times, doesn't go. Glover length of the floor, backboard only, and the Sydney Kings build a 10-point lead in the first half. Off back-to-back losses, but having beaten Illawarra already this season, they face their arch rivals and say, we want to return to the winner's circle. Joe Healy is standing by with Geordie Hunter.
I am indeed. Geordie, you came out with a bang. As a team, you've had some really good offensive ball movement. How does it feel out there for you?
Feels good. We were a little stagnant the last 2 games, so we want to make sure that we're zinging it around like we were when we started the year. So good start. We'll try to put another half together.
They started to generate a little bit of momentum towards the end of the second there. How do you put a stop to that in the second 40?
They're going to play hard and crash the glass. They're great there, so just as long as we limit their second chance opportunities and play as hard as they will should hold us in good stead.
Good luck for the rest of it.
Thanks, Joe. Welcome back.
Indeed, well said, Jordan. He has 7 points, he has 6 rebounds, he's avoided foul trouble. So, at the Win Entertainment Centre, it is the Kings by 10 over the Hawks.
Indigenous round, like I said, it's just a celebration of my culture, you know. It's good that, you know, the NBL has taken the initiative to be a leader in this space, which is pretty cool.
Indigenous round is kind of big for us. Me and Davo grew up kind of with each other, so with somebody like that on my team, and Indigenous round is kind of big for our community. Both of us would be special.
You know, a lot of history of Australia has been sort of swept under the carpet, and it's a big reason why a lot of people don't even know that Australia has Indigenous people here. So things like that, just putting us on the map, like we are here, we're still fighting, all of that, it's very important.
We're taking leaps every year from, you know, jerseys and getting people involved. You know, you see a lot of the stories that the artists have put on their jerseys, and they're educating a lot of people, and you have a lot of different stories from different tribes, from different areas, seeing their stories and the mob down there. When you see your mob or your family kind of rock up and everyone's kind of tuned in and they're at games and the NBL's, you know, doing stuff to be able to get people from communities into games, it's good to see. It means a lot.
Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL Indigenous round. It's the Kings leading the Hawks by 10 here at halftime. Joe Healy alongside Brad Rosen. Brad, what stood out to you in the first 20 there?
Well, I think as good as the Kings were, I just thought Illawarra struggled. That's really what it was. Defensively, they didn't do what they needed to do, and they just couldn't knock down their shots. They missed a lot of threes, but there's stuff to work on. They don't really play as bad as what they played then, so I'm expecting a better second half.
Let's take a look at the Hungry Jacks halftime highlights now. You want to point out the specific impact of Makwatch Malawatch for the Kings.
Wasn't he great? To be able to get him to come off the bench, and not only did he do things on the offensive end, hitting the threes, getting some layups, but then he had some outstanding plays on the defensive end as well. But the really crux of it is for him to be able to be 5 of 5 from the field. Look at that block go straight upstairs, and that's what you want. We always talk about the Kings bench and how good they are. That's what he brings them, and I thought he was great.
And those points, of course, highlighted as we bring up the Blackmore's shot chart as well.
Well, you just look at it, it's quality. I mean, obviously it's all green, but he gets where his open shots are. None of those shots were against the muscle or against anything that he shouldn't be doing. He played his role perfectly, 3 of 3 from the three-point line, and similar to what a Quat Noy did in game 1, when he hit 6 threes, he was able to do that and having a great first half.
What about for the Hawks? Gary Clark imposing himself offensively. What more can we see from him out there?
He's just got to take more shots, Joe. That's as simple it was. When he gets that down on the block, he's pretty much unstoppable. If they don't come and double team, he's got so much time. That was the first score of the game. Now, he hit some threes, and there's no question, but Leonard and I were talking about it in the commentary there. He's just got to do this more, because right now he's unstoppable, and he gets a three-point play right there.
Taking a look at his shot chart as well. What are you seeing from that?
Well, it's just a good shot chart. Forget the ones that he misses. They're all high quality. A couple around the basket that he misses. But to me, when he's playing like that, 7 shots is not enough, especially when they're one of many from the three-point line. Just get him more shots. Right now, he should finish the game, I think, with a minimum of 20 shots, and they've got to be good possessions. He's a quality, very educated basketballer. He's not going to take bad ones.
An opportunity for the Hawks here in this second half. Stay with us. The second 40's coming up after the break.
The second leg of a Friday night Indigenous round double header. A fantastic initiative now, 6 or 7 years old in this league, and the two jerseys here, the Hawks and the Kings, looking superb. Auntie Trish Levette designing the Illawarra singlet with a hawk prominent and landmark features around that. And of course the Sydney Kings, Stuart James designing their singlets, identifying the slogan "Rise with Us," which is the club slogan. I'm Matt Russell alongside Leonard Copeland, Brad Rosen on court in the first half. Makwatch Malawatch, 13 points. His career high was 10. He's blown past that in the first half with those perfect shooting numbers.
Bad. Just exactly the shots that you should be taking when you're open.
And his defense was good too.
Oh, yeah.
The blocks, a steal or two, but 5 for 5 and 3 for 3. That's not enough shots, bro. I need a couple more. Give me the ball.
He's only 25 years of age. Of course, Indigenous round continues. Tomorrow night we have a fantastic doubleheader coming your way, and an important doubleheader as well. Firstly, Tasmania hosting Nathan Sobey and the Bullets. Then we're off to Perth. Can the Jack Jumpers defend the Islands? Of course, Brisbane off that win last night against Southeast Melbourne, 108-92. John Riley feeling the heat, as are Wildcats fans. They've lost their last 4. Perth, Adelaide, the second leg tomorrow night. Boy, your Saturday double, that packs some intrigue.
I'll be at home on the couch watching both matches.
With your clothes on, Leonard?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Fantastic. That's the menu tomorrow before Southeast Melbourne and Cairns go at it on Sunday. Sydney backing up against the Breakers. Brad, you'll be at that game on Sunday.
I will. Grand final replay as well. Breakers obviously coming off a good win before we got started with this one, so that they're ready to roll.
And we're ready to roll into the second half here. The Hawks starting this third quarter down by 10, and Jalen Adams concedes the early foul. In fact, it's called on Wani Swaka Labullock. Wrapping the arm around Adams. Geordie Hunter, high percentage.
And you see how many guys touched the ball in that play?
Yep.
The ball didn't hit the ground.
True,
there was no dribbling. Swing, 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 layup.
Swaka Labullock baseline for Froling. Tough hook shot with the rebound collected by Valentine. Tui goes back to Jalen Adams, who had the bounce pass out of his pocket, fumbled by Tui. Good defense by the Kings to deny Clark, as Tui stays at it and gets the right sort of roll.
Well, this is not the pace Illawarra want coming out from half-time. They have to make sure that they slow this down, get it into the half-court grind, and now get the roll on Clark and be able to get him to go to work, all Froling at the other side.
Sydney had 4 points to their half-time margin before Clark trims it by 3.
And he can do that.
Yeah.
Now, you look at the halftime stats, and the Kings had 11 assists, and Illawarra had 3, which means everything's off the dribble. Everyone's trying to do it themselves rather than swing that ball.
Denzel Valentine answers that shot by Clark. Wani Swaka Labullock feeds his point guard. Tyler Harvey, rough night for him so far. Clark step back for 3. Off the mark, and now it's Jordan Hunter conceding the foul.
Again, I'm just looking at this. Watch this pass here, and you see beautiful pass. Gary Clark knocks down the 3, but the Jalen Adams pass, look at that. Right in the pocket for an outstanding three-point shooter. That is what we talk about beautiful point guards. And that Harvey Norman replay shows it all.
He will stay with the Hawks. Trailing by 14. 2 minutes gone in the third. Now looking for the Clark alley-oop finish. Poor execution, Illawarra. And Valentine just received a bad pass down in front of his ankles. So instead, it's DJ Hogue unloading and missing. Harvey will keep shooting it, but it's not his night. None of 5 from outside. The Hawks are 2 of 14. And both of them have come from Gary Clark. Hogue in an ominous sign for the Illawarra Hawks. Finds his range.
Well, it's simple basketball for the Sydney Kings. They're not doing anything that they don't do every game. They're just pushing the ball. Look at this. That's a flat closeout. Not enough. DJ Hogue, all NBL last team, Illawarra. You can't be leaving that open. He might have not had many shots up and played that much, Copes, but he's going to knock that down.
Hand down, man down. You got to get your hand up on every shooter.
It's 10-3 to the Kings since half-time.
Copes, I wanted to ask you, when I look at a Justin Robinson, the body language today is not what you want from your point guard who's really got to go to work.
We'll come back to Coach because Joe Healy is standing by with a special guest.
Yeah, certainly am. I've got injured Hawk Mason Peatling with me. Mason, out with a fractured cheekbone. How is it feeling?
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, the first week or two after surgery, just getting used to the face again, but getting closer to playing, which is exciting, and I'm looking forward to being back on the floor.
Any idea when we will see you back out there?
I'm going to get into more training next week, so we'll wait and see how that goes. Hopefully no more head knocks and back on sooner rather than later.
What do you like as a spectator? Itching to get out there?
Oh, absolutely. Any basketball player that plays in the NBL wants to get back out there, so yeah, super excited to be back out there.
Tough one for the guys tonight, but best of luck on your recovery and how they go for the rest of this one.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Little shout out there to Joe Healy, welcome back. But can I just say to you, when Jordan Hunter said to her, welcome back, I have never seen her blush so much as she did right then.
Great to have her back down under after a stint stateside. Mason Peatling, 3 years at Melbourne, his first as a Hawk, only the 2 games before that facial fracture. Good to hear he's about to resume full contact training. A comeback not far away as we see Denzel Valentine run the floor. Hogue was open and wanted it instead. Jalen Adams leaves it short. And they fight for the ball. And the foul is committed by Wani Swaka-Labullock.
Copes, I'll come back to what I was saying there is I like Justin Robinson, what he's been able to give, but tonight I'm seeing 2 of 9, and those 9 shots were early. He might have shot 1 or 2 lately, but they were very quick, and it just seems like if it's not dropping, the energy drops. They need him. They need that energy.
Absolutely. Your point guard needs to be the coach on the floor. He needs to galvanize these guys. He needs to bring them in, and that's one thing I don't see with the Hawks. No huddles. I mean, you need to talk about what's going wrong. Talk about who you want to get the ball to. And they don't do that a lot. Whereas the Kings, on every play or every second play, they're calling it in and saying, guys, look, we got to do this, we got to do that.
What a season this young man is building. Alex Tui as he misses the back end. Just 19 years of age, 11 points, 5 rebounds per game so far. He started all 8 of them. Wally Bales out there. Proud Indigenous man getting key minutes in Indigenous rounds. He changed things for the Hawks. Just inside the shot clock. He comes away with the miss.
Well, Matty, that's what he's been brought on for. He will now, I'm assuming, go straight on to Jalen Adams and cloud him. He will glove him. He will make everything uncomfortable because that's what he's got to be able to do because Coach Giacomanis, he is not getting anything from anyone else. He's got to make sure someone's got to lift this.
Sydney Kings, highest scoring team in the league, on track to blow past 100 points again this evening now, shooting at 50% as they force another foul on the Illawarra Hawks.
And his IQ is just off the charts. Yeah. I mean, what is he, 19, 20 years old? 19 years old. You know, and he makes the right moves and the right plays. Doesn't force anything. Shots not falling, get to the basket.
Played Illawarra's next star, AJ Johnson, at school in the States. And here they are, head-to-head again, but not the same minutes for the younger AJ Johnson this season, as we've seen for Alex Toohey. Partly because of that broken nose pre-season. 12 months can be a lot when you're just starting your rugby, your basketball journey. Here comes Bolden. Jonah Bolden back on for the Kings as Jordan Hunter gets a breather. 11 points, 5 of 6 shooting, 8 rebounds for Geordie. It is a 20-point lead to the Kings. Bilwali Bales delivers a much-needed 3 for Illawarra. From the block in Redfern to the Illawarra Hawks, with plenty of stops in between. A nice moment for Bales. Adams.
Well, you can't play much better defense than that. That is just outstanding offense.
It's your big brother playing against your little brother in the backyard.
Here's Gary Clark bumping bodies with Jonah Bolden, and Clark gets the win.
Well, that is a great move by Gary Clark. The possession before, Matty, I thought Copes was going to jump out of his seat and go and grab the ball and throw it into Gary Clark, because he was open so much down there that last possession. Copes wanted to grab the ball and throw it to him.
And he had Adams on him as well in the second part of that. Just get him the ball. He's good enough on that box. He'll get you a good shot.
Yep. Well, Gary Clark's stats are a beacon for the Illawarra Hawks. 17 points, 6 of 11 shooting. Throw in 7 rebounds, and he is building on the numbers he's been able to deliver over the last few games.
I like his game because he plays hard, both ends of the floor.
DJ Hogue, and nice from Olbrich.
That is great, D. That's what we're calling for, Copes. Just keep your man on your chest and in front of you and make every different task. Look at this. Dribble, 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 and then he has to get up, and great block by Lockie Olbrich.
It's young talent time Mark II at times this season. Olbrich just 19, and there's DJ Hogue delivering from a long way outside.
He's starting to find that eye.
Just second game back from the shoulder injury. The former Taipan. Clark off the glass.
Look,
we're a record here, Copes. I'm hearing you. We are a broken record.
Just go at this guy until he gets tired, and then give him a break and come back at him again.
Adams used the screen by Sean Bruce, who pulled up Justin Robinson on the spot. Oh, wow. Beautiful from Jalen Adams through heavy traffic, taller timber, and the shot goes.
And he got a little something to say about it, too.
How did he do that? Now Clark. Bales.
Good move.
Nice.
Beautiful move from Bilwali Bales.
He has given him that spark.
Their last 3 or 4 possessions down the floor offensively have been great.
The margin hangs around that high teens for the Sydney Kings. Illawarra needs stops. They need a big final 4 minutes in this third quarter. And their D has been the problem part of their game for so much of this season so far.
Copes, I'm watching as Jalen Adams comes off, and he is right in front of us, and he's got a huge smile looking at his coach and like, they can't stop me. Why are you taking me out, mate? Leave me alone.
How good to have the players walk straight past the coach.
It's great, isn't it?
Under your nose and hear every word that he said. Guatnoi. And the rebound for Froling. Justin Robinson brings Froling into play. Wouldn't Lachlan Olbrich love a big 3 minutes here. Instead, Guatnoi forces the turnover on Illawarra. And here come the Kings. Malawatch back out there. The fake to beat Greeder. Now an extra pass for Kawatanoy. Plenty of ball movement. It opens up for Valentine to drop the tray.
Swing, 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 bang.
And it's back out to 20. Robinson for Froling. Again, he loses the ball. Another turnover. And Malawatch, who's been feeling it tonight and still is. 23 in front the Sydney Kings. It's falling apart for Illawarra. The last 3 possessions, all resulting in turnovers. Malawatch thought about it. He said, Jonah Bolden, you're down low. Deliver for us, big man.
How quickly did this change in the third quarter? Yeah. Just
what a run here for the Kings. It's going to get ugly for Illawarra. The fourth three-quarter time, they're down by 25. Valentine for Bolden. Now a blocking foul called on Sean Bruce.
We're just talking about a Harvey Norman replay, Copes. Look at this passing. Now, Illawarra, that's where they've got to stay on the floor. But watch this, pass. Justin Robinson lost his man, wide open, bang, in the corner. Outstanding basketball, Sydney Kings.
if the ball does touch the ground, it's 1, maybe 2 dribbles. They're moving their ball out of their hands straight away.
$80-55. It's been a good night for the Sydney Kings and their Indigenous singlet. Let's have a look and explain what the boys from Sydney are wearing tonight.
Yeah, the meaning of the artwork is acknowledging the ancestral grounds of the Illawarra people, connecting that into the now and laying platforms for the future of not only the players but the club and the fans as well. The symbols obviously represent the people. The actual dots on the side, what they actually represent is that deep-rooted ancestral connection to the land. It's acknowledging the past, the present and the future. And it's also giving a nod to the players who are actually representing the jersey and taking great pride in wearing this design, which is something I'm very proud of as well. I know my family are very proud of me. Proud's probably a throwaway word in some of these situations, but I can't be any more prouder to be a part of it.
So Stuart James with the artwork reflecting the Kings' mission statement, rise with us. Haven't they risen over the last couple of years? Back-to-back defending league champions. Geordie Hunter will be enjoying tonight. 11 points, 5 of 6 shooting. His team ahead by 25. They've scored the last 8 points. And Bill Wiley Bales goes to the line to try and end that run. Jacob Jackomas, what tricks does he have left in the last couple of minutes of the third and then through the fourth? They're not in action again until November 11 at Cairns. There's a long while to stew on what looks like being a heavy loss at this stage, but there is time.
Well, there's always time, and they've just got to make sure they build.
Noy under pressure, and he loses it over the sideline.
And that's a good start. You've got to start from somewhere.
They break the 8-point run. Now they force a turnover. The offensive execution. How will it be this possession? Lockie Olbrick out of control, and offensive foul is the call. Offensive foul on Lockie Olbrick. It was Angus Glover doing the defending. Look at the Harvey Norman replay. might find Joe Healy courtside.
Yeah, thanks. Tough one for the Hawks right now, guys. As you say, was just listening to the timeout. Jacob Jacomas staying calm, though, staying as positive as he can and just encouraging his troops to get back to basics, run through their sets and stay in front of their man in defence. Good bit of leadership from J. Rob as well. He said, guys, in moments like this, we just need to stick together.
Absolutely, they need to do that. 23 the margin. Bilwali Bales. Good minutes for him tonight. Now Tyler Harvey. Off the glass unsuccessfully. And Tyler now 1 of 9. Valentine forced into a tough shot, and it never looked like missing. It's all working for Sydney. Last minute of the third. Only 15 points scored this quarter by the home team.
Well, as much as we talk about Illawarra and them struggling, you have to give it to the Sydney Kings, their energy. They've come out here half-time, whatever Coach Mahmood has been able to say to them at half-time, they did lift Copes. And it was from the second they started this third quarter. That coach, was outstanding. Takes a hit when you lose a couple.
Dan Greeter spinning away from Valentine with the and one to come. Nice move, Dan Greeter. Until that bucket, it was 30-15 in this quarter in favour of Sydney.
And you're right, Brad. And when you said big brother, little brother, it's like playing against your little brother in the backyard. I mean, that's how they came out in the third quarter. They wanted them to know they're not messing around.
Yep.
You know, you guys have been in this game so far, but we're a much better team. We're more organized.
Well, they're pros.
Yeah.
And they were not happy with the way they've played the last 2 games. Tasmania, for that loss, they were great, Tasmania, no question. But in Cairns, in their words, that was not the Sydney Kings we are. And they've come back and played really well here tonight so far.
Beautiful passing from Sydney. No shot yet, but there was plenty of ball movement and slick. As DJ Ho goes to Valentine. The shot clock was at 2. He had to pull the trigger, and the rebound for Tui. Ho puts it on the floor, goes over the top of Bales, and it's called a blocking foul on Bilwali Bales. He's in the no-charge circle there. So Ho plays it nicely. Just back to your point about the Sydney Kings, conversely, Illawarra in a hole, and they've long taken pride on tapping into their blue-collar background and fighting against the odds and digging deep, like they did last season when so many injuries went against them, unavailabilities bit hard. Have they shown the same fight, that blue-collar background spirit this season compared with last year?
At times. But, you know, I thought Cope summed it up really well in Melbourne. 3 quarters. You know, really good for 3 quarters. Right now, that wasn't a terrible first half for the Illawarra Hawks if you take that last couple of minutes. You know, they went in by 10, but they were close until that last couple of minutes, and then a very poor third quarter. But there's times that they show we're just waiting for that to flick over where they play 40 minutes and not give those teams. Coach, you've mentioned it so many times tonight where it's like they're so good, but it's that last 1% that they just miss out on. They're better than they were last year, but so is everyone else.
Yes, that's right. It's a self-inflicted mistakes that are hurting them.
It was 52-42 at halftime. Look at the scoreboard now. 84-60. The Sydney Kings bolt clear after a big third quarter. We'll break and come back to Win Entertainment Centre in Wollongong. The Sydney Kings comfortably clear in Wollongong. They're out by 24 on the back of a 32-18 third quarter. Mahmoud Abdel Fattah will be delighted with their performance post half-time. They've lost Jalen Galloway to injury in recent weeks. They've welcomed back DJ Hogue. No Jalen, no problems for the coach of the Sydney Kings. They've had plenty of performers today as you look down the score sheet and see 5 players in double figures. Alex Tui not far away with 8 as well. Underway in the fourth. Matt Russell, Leonard Copeland, Brad Rosen, and Joe Healy bringing you this one from the gong. And there's an early turnover, Illawarra. They start the fourth like they played so much of the third.
Well, Cokes, there's times to go in, and when you roll the ball into Gary Clark, but that was just one mediocre on-ball screen and then roll it down. That's too easy to defend. They need to get the ball from one side to the other, then roll in.
And then once they throw it in, they got to move. You can't stand there and watch him go to work.
Good call.
Set screens.
Robinson trying to shake Tui. He finds Greener on the charge. Malawatch up there to deny him, but conceding the foul. Joe Healy, what was said by the team, out by 24 points at three-quarter time?
Well, unsurprisingly, guys, they're happy right now, but they're certainly not satisfied. Coach Mood just saying, guys, we've got to finish this off. Don't play to the score. Let's keep getting stops. I mean, you can guarantee the Kings love inflicting this kind of a margin on their New South Wales rivals, so they won't be letting their foot off anytime soon.
Yeah, foot on the throat, particularly with an eye to Sunday. Leonard Copeland, Brad Rosen, you're the former players. This fourth quarter becomes not only pounding the Hawks, but preparing for a grand final rematch back into the weekend.
Absolutely. You want DJ Hogue to get himself going.
Yeah.
So he's prepared. He's ready to go. The other guys are humming. I mean, they're humming right now. We want him to fit in, not necessarily go at him and let him go to work, but let him fit into the offense. So when you get there on Sunday, you know, you're ready to roll.
And it's a great point you make there, Coach. Sorry, Matty. Just the fact that you haven't had this guy. Look, he was okay last week, but took a lot of shots to get his points. But now you can get him into the swing of things, and it's not the pressure of that game when you're out by 20 and doing what you're doing.
Yeah, backcourt violation there invites the Hawks to cut the margin. They get the shot away in time just, but can't score. DJ Hogue, 13 points at 29% last week, Brad. So you look to improve on that efficiency as the comeback continues. Tonight, DJ, 13 points at 44%. So he's ticked that box.
On the front foot, you only get 14 on the back foot.
Harvey and Robinson are 3 for 19 from the field. Sydney Kings have done a very good job of shutting those two guys down, because if they're not firing, the team's not firing.
Well, Coach Mahmoud has taken out Jordan Hunt here, and he likes this when he's able to go 5 guys that can shoot the floor. And this is where DJ can now get into probably that 5 spot where he can rotate. Good move inside there. Coach, that's what they need to do. But I like this, and this is where you can get DJ Hogue now some wide open threes.
Absolutely.
Clark goes to 21. He's one good shot away from equaling his Australian best at 24, set last game. There's Kawat Noi doing what he did to start the season here.
And that's my point there. They're able to pass the ball and everyone can spot up. And right now, Illawarra just can't guard it.
It's a beautiful offense when everyone can touch it.
Yeah.
And you get the best shot. Even when you miss it, as long as everyone touches the ball, you feel a part of it.
Now Lockie Albrecht showing his range with an air ball over the top of the hole. Hogue the extra pass. Noi again. He thought he was going to drop 2 in the blink of an eye. That one misses narrowly. Albrecht loses a handle, and Adams is happy to grab it. He sits it in the air for Tui. Now Hogue. Good look, he'll get another go here. Hogue. Jalen Adams.
This is
the
just
offensive
practice,
rebounds for the Sydney Kings. 3, 4 in a row. And Albrecht puts a stop to that. The Kings 38 rebounds. To the Hawks 26. So again, like last game, they're getting pounded on the boards. Hogue. Now he loses it. Sydney's ball. At the start of the season, Hawks fans were looking forward to seeing Harvey and a fit Robinson sharing the floor together. One really lighting it up, the other facilitating, maybe even both lighting it up. But back to your earlier point, Leonard, at 3 of 19 combined tonight, that has been a theme of the Hawks season. Not only are they struggling individually, they haven't been able to provide that, both firing on the same night, situation that sounds so good to Hawks fans.
And you got to give Sydney a little bit of credit. They've done a fantastic job of playing defense, shutting these guys down, making them take the tough shots.
Here's Harvey going to work. That running floater draws the foul. DJ Hogue picks up another foul. That'll be his third. There are 4 Kings with 3 fouls. Hogue, Malawatch, Bolden, and Hunter.
And Hogue just needs some time. He just needs to play. The more he plays, the more comfortable he's going to get with this offense and defense, and the better they're going to look.
I agree. For me, I'd sit him for 2 and bring him back. Just get more minutes under his belt. Because New Zealand will feel comfortable. They would enjoy the fact that they got a win. And you know what it's like, Copes, if you lose into a grand final, you pencil that one in for next year. You cannot wait.
Absolutely.
He played 24 minutes against Cairns. So far, DJ Hogue on 20 minutes today. So we'll probably finish around par with his comeback game. And Adams. Well, where's Jalen Adams going to take his game as this season develops? The 2022 League MVP. Robinson wants to be in that MVP discussion, but he's got to give us a lot more consistently to be anywhere near that. Can you see Jalen Adams challenging the MVP hot pops at this stage?
He's good enough. Yep. He's good enough. He just needs to be in the right position. He's definitely good enough.
Basket doesn't count there.
He holds the hand on his ball. Yeah, but he's holding the hand on the ball. 8 is, yeah, 8.
So Angus Glover back on for the Sydney Kings. Of course, 2 years as an Illawarra Hawk. He's from Wollongong. He's on track to make it 4 games against his former club in the Gong for 4 wins. Advantage Angus.
He's such a hard-nosed player, isn't he?
Yeah. And now Gary Clark. The inbound was poor from the Kings. Clark pounces and draws the foul. He'll go to the line. It's the Kings by 22. Triple figures calling their name again.
Here we go.
What's standing out to you about the Kings offense tonight in comparison with what we've seen so far this season, the highest scoring team in the league?
Look, I have to be honest, what I've seen tonight is what I saw for the first few weeks. Just the way they're able to move that ball. Jalen Adams has the thing on a string. I didn't see that as much. I thought in Cairns they were very ball dominant. There was a lot of dribbling that happened.
Well, let me give you a talking point. First in the league for assists, 20 per game. They've had 21 tonight in comparison with the Hawks 9. Back to your earlier point, Leonard, it's a feature of being a team.
And you know, we spoke about it earlier, but they got 5 new players and a new coach, but they don't look like it when they're playing Sydney basketball. Everyone touches the ball, they get a good shot, they share the ball.
Case in point as Kawat Noi is on the end of a string of ball movement. Great passing, it opens up, and there's another dime, 22 of them.
The other thing I'll say, Copes, and you're 100% right, look at them. They look happy. They're a happy basketball team. Illawarra look like a frustrated basketball team.
A few more of them from J-Rob. Justin Robinson will help ease that frustration. But you are spot on. They are frustrated at times, and looking at the prospect of a 2 and 6 beginning to NBL 2024 will add to that. Yeah, so ground to make up for the Illawarra Hawks in this game and on the season. What can they achieve in the last 4.5 minutes here? As I mentioned, not in action again until November 11 in far north Queensland.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, Copes, I'm going to throw at you. You know, you've played, you've been assistant coach very recently. Is this a time you say to your team, right, get out of here, we'll see you in a few days, come back Tuesday? You know, or is it we'll see you tomorrow morning?
Well, for these last 4 minutes, I'd like for him to put him out there and let him run a couple of plays, slow it down. You can't run with the Sydney Kings.
Yeah.
Don't try to run on that same pace with these guys. Let's try to get a couple of good plays in, see if we can score on these plays and get a couple of good stops. And then at the end, you have a chat with them and say, guys, we're a team, we're family. Let's go have breakfast together tomorrow, or let's go to a movie together.
4.5 left here. 95-75. The Kings in control. It's not going to be a happy 100th game for Tyler Harvey. Justin Robinson unable to back up his 20 points, 9 assists last start against Melbourne. And Sydney showing themselves after back-to-back losses to be a true team. Despite being a new team, they've fallen into sync nicely. And they're converging as more points fall from the fingers of Jonah Bolden. They're headed towards a 5-3 start, the Sydney Kings. AJ Johnson, the next star back out there. Darted by Bolden. Johnson off the mark, Glover the rebounds, and the foul will be called on Bolden. The Harvey Norman replay, look at it again.
You come down and you watch Illawarra, their last play. I swear there was 20 dribbles.
You're
no
right.
one went anywhere.
And not one inside the three-point line except for the last couple. And that's something the coaching staff needs to go away. And when you've got a 24-second shot clock, you take at least 5, 6 to get it over half court. You basically spend the next 10 seconds dribbling outside the three-point line. No wonder they're going to shoot a low percentage, Copes. They're not going anywhere, and there's 6 seconds left, and then you've got to throw the ball to a Harvey and go, well, off you go. And then sometimes we sit here and wonder why he's 1 of 11.
Yep, agree.
Rolling up to 11 points for the game. 3 of 4 from the line. What a display from the Kings under pressure and with the answer here tonight. They lost against Tasmania. They went down to Cairns. They've come to the Gong. Their arch rivals liked their chances. They said they'd had a great week. They corrected a couple of areas they thought were costing them. But there are more questions for Jacob Jackomas to answer. New Sydney coach, Mahmoud Abdul Fattah, has done the job.
And there's talent on this team. Look, Illawarra have talent on their team. And sometimes it's not all the coach's fault. These guys need to get together. Like I said, have breakfast together or have lunch together, hang out, have a chat about what we're doing wrong. Take it personally. Say, I'm going to get better individually.
Forlorn look on the coach's face as Justin Robinson. Off the glass, but too heavy. And they keep possession. Now AJ Johnson. Rolling fight for the ball. Foul is called on Quatnoy. So the Sydney Kings play New Zealand on Sunday. And they've got some nice 7-day turnarounds. There's their run through November and into December. Off to Brisbane, off to Melbourne. With nice 7-day lead-ins. They'll be good games to watch. The Kings, the defending champs, against last year's grand final opponent. Certainly the Brisbane Bullets, who are winners to start this round, and then they're off to Melbourne popular picks to be there in the championship series.
I like that. It just doesn't help my super coach. It's just not enough double headers.
Don't talk to me about super coach.
I actually have to. You're terrible.
I am terrible.
You are atrocious.
Can you help me, Copes?
You are atrocious.
When you're beating me, you know I'm
You
bad.
know what you're bad.
I pick blokes I like who aren't necessarily good basketballers all the time. That's the problem.
They're not good basketballers.
He's got 11 Hawks players, by the way.
Zach Katorna out there, the development player for the Sydney Kings. Long attempt from the Kings is off the mark. Will Hickey also out there. Nice moment for Will after not many minutes in recent rounds.
Oh, good pass.
Now Glover, beautiful. The feed was spectacular. The finish assured from Glover.
Unselfish basketball.
Totally. And look at that, third time the Kings have scored 100 plus.
That's nice from Will Hickey.
You know, I'm interested, Copes, if you're now the coach of the Sydney Kings, are you happy with the 101 or are you more happy with the 81? Which one? Are you more happier that the fact that you keep them to 81?
You got to be happy with both.
Yeah.
You got to be happy with both.
Yeah, I get you.
Again, though, I'd have DJ Hogue out there.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't go back on,
Oh, look at that from A.J. Johnson. The next star is a rising star, and he gives us a bright, bright moment late in this game.
Look at this. Fantastic. Lost his man, Denzel Washington, and he goes upstairs, and the young man says, I'm the next star in Illawarra.
As soon as he come off the floor, Coach Justin Tatum grabbed him and said, look, you missed the defensive assignment on the other end. Yes, the dunk was nice, but you got to learn both ends of the floor.
He's shown some promise.
No, he is.
You know, like we've been here a lot, but tonight he looks great.
Absolutely. He's delivered some momentum. But here's the Hawks record since the semi-finals they reached in NBL22. So we're talking 1 and a bit seasons since then, and it's not good. 5 wins, 30 losses. We hear about pressure in the West because they expect glory. They expect to play postseason. Where are we assessing Illawarra? Now there is starting to be a decent sample size this season at 2 and soon to be 6.
You can't sugarcoat it. 5 and 30 is not good anywhere in the world, Brad.
What did you tell me before, Cokes? Out of those 5, 2 of them are game winners from half court by Tyler Harvey.
Wow. 2 of them are game winners.
That's a good point.
Last year in New Zealand and last week here.
Yes.
Well, the highest score put on Illawarra this season has been 106, and the Kings are set to blow past that with a minute and a half left. Glover, Katorna, nice moment coming here, but he catches the rim.
Coach Mahmoud's still coaching. A minute and 30 to go.
Love it.
The Kings have been to triple figures 3 times already this season, and 99 on another occasion.
Copes, when you're playing for the Tigers, and Lindsay obviously coaches, was there ever, if you took 80 shots in a game as a team, was it ever you shouldn't shoot more than 50% from the 3-point line? Like 40 would be a lot?
Lindsay was more about getting the best shot in a system, and it didn't matter about how many shots you took or you didn't take, as long as you got it through some hands and you took the best available shot. But back then, everyone in our team wasn't looking to shoot the ball. Right. We had role players, Warren Gideon, Stephen Hoare, and those guys.
Wasn't flowing for the Hawks, and that disease is catching for the Kings momentarily. Here's A.J. Johnson to Hickey. Blocking foul called on Katorna. Close call.
I'm just having a look down the other end, and I hope to God this is not anything bad, but Gritter stayed down. He is completely down the other end. He's just walked straight off the court, and he's holding that left. It looked like a quad or a knee. At least he's walked off, but he did not look good at all. We'll just see the replay here.
Oh.
Did not get up the whole time.
Hopefully he's all right. He's a tough kid.
Yeah.
Inside the final minute, we'll bring you some news on Dan Gruder, if time allows, late in this game.
Copes, the reason I brought that up is you look at the Sydney Kings, 75 shots they've taken, 38 of them are threes. Like more than 50%. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
But when you're making them, you play.
Or you got players that can, you're right, if you got players that can make them and they're consistent,
yeah,
then yes.
Angus Glover gets it back off the legs of Will Hickey and now working baseline. No joy for the Sydney Kings. Jasper Rentoy is out there. Wally Bales can't hit it. Gatorna the rebound. Does Rentoy get another look? No, it's Angus Glover. He's 4 from 4 against his former club at home in the Gong. Time expires and it's a big win. A 20-point win to the Sydney Kings. They go 2-0 against the Hawks in Hungry Jack's NBL 24. It's one-way traffic in the freeway series because it's 8 straight now for the Kings against the Hawks. The Foot Locker player of the game, the recipient of that Foot Locker voucher is Jalen Adams, the former league MVP. Better and better and better.
Outstanding all night. He was able to didn't look like he got out of first gear. He was able to do whatever he wanted. Some outstanding moves, great passes. I mentioned the one to Denzel Valentine on the other side of the court, and just the way he was able to really get in the seams, Copes. He was great.
More importantly, he was in charge of the team. He ran the show.
16 points, 7 assists. 7 assists in a team that had 24 assists to 11, that won the rebounding convincingly. An all-round performance by the Kings in an all-round big win. We'll break and come back to the Wynn Entertainment Centre.
Indigenous round. It has been quite the night for the Sydney Kings. 20-point winners over the Illawarra Hawks. Brad Rosen alongside me. What did you make of this one?
Well, I'm not going to say much about the Illawarra Hawks. I thought they were pretty ordinary, to be honest, and they didn't really come with that fight. But the Sydney Kings, they were great. They made a statement. They didn't have a good couple of weeks by losing 2 games in a row, but they came out tonight and showed why they're one of the heavyweights.
Back in the winner's circle, as you say. Let's take a look at the Hungry Jacks highlights now. That second half was a clinic.
Well, from the tip-off of that second half, they just didn't stop. I thought, you know, whilst Illawarra and Gary Clark played a great game for them when he could, but I thought everything, that pass there to Denzel Valentine, I still just wonder how he's able to do that. But the Sydney Kings, their defence was great. Everything for Illawarra was against the muscle. DJ Ho's getting his minutes back up, but they just shot the ball so well, the Sydney Kings. Everything they did in that second half was great.
Jalen Adams, the player of the game. Did anyone else stand out for you, though?
Well, I thought Malamuch was fantastic when he came off the bench and gave them 6 of 6 from the threes, but I thought Jonah Bolden played well. But just everything they did, and there's the young star. I love when he goes upstairs and finishes it. But I just saw all throughout they were great, but it really was led by and orchestrated by Jalen Adams, who just was amazing again.
Wonderful night for the Sydney Kings. They're back in action on Sunday. Plenty more still coming up tomorrow as well. We've got a big double-header. The Tassie Jack Jumpers hosting an in-form Brisbane Bullets side.
In-form is correct. Brisbane have been great. Watched them last night, and I thought they were brilliant. Nathan Sobey, whilst a little bit quiet last night, he's been in amazing form. The Jackies, they did lose and not so good, but that game against the Sydney Kings a couple of weeks, I still marvel about them. Really looking forward to that one. And then the next game, well, I don't know who's got more pressure in this league than anyone than the Perth Wildcats, so that is going to be a ripper tomorrow night. I will be settling in, Joe, for these two.
Oh, I hear you there. Get the popcorn out for that one, the Perth Wildcats and Adelaide 36ers. Well, it has been a night here in Wollongong. We've absolutely loved it. A big win for the Sydney Kings, as we said. A whole lot more Hungry Jacks NBL coming up for you over the rest of the weekend, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. On behalf of the crew, it has been a pleasure. We'll see you next time.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.